Back in 2016, I was diagnosed with EDS, and I had always had health problems. We didn't really know what to call it until then. But things got a lot worse a couple years ago when I was in the hospital for sepsis, which I've had multiple times, but this time I also had a spinal leak. And so they weren't able to do a blood patch to fix the spinal leak because of the sepsis. By the end of that hospital stay, I had lost feeling from the waist down, and things were kind of getting worse until I got out of the hospital, had the blood patch done. They're like, well, there's a chance everything could just go back to normal on its own. And so we were kind of just waiting and doing PT, and nothing really improved or got better. So at that point, I just didn't even know what to do because the hospital had sent us home. The doctors didn't give us any information, and it was just kind of like my whole life was flipped upside down, and I had no idea who I was anymore.
It was a hard time.
It was hard because I loved cooking and art, and wanted to go to school to be an occupational therapist and work with kids. But everything was like 10 times more difficult. I couldn't get things in the kitchen. I had to depend on my family. It wasn't the same anymore, and it didn't provide the same amount of joy as it used to. But right around then, someone had mentioned this place, and I just remember being like welcomed in like family and feeling like I had a purpose and I belonged for the first time in like years.
I mean, the smile that came, when she came home, the first time she had come, she just was smiling, and, she said, it's interesting, you're just you when you're there, and you don't have to go through all these explanations about, what happened to you or what you're going through or all the hard times you've had, because you have a sense that people just know. And then we just kept learning more and more. She started to realize that, hey, there's a lot of stuff I can still do.
I love working with the kids in classes. This has given me an opportunity to continue to do that, which is something else that I thought I would never have the chance to do.
It was like everybody's on the same playing field. Everybody was doing something, whether they had a disability, didn't have a disability. The moms and dads and family members and caregivers were all talking to each other. It's just like this great network. It's like having a support group without a support group.
And they're not alone in anything, and that things are still possible for them, and there's a whole world of other opportunities. And this is just like the beginning for them. I would encourage everyone to donate to BoltzStrong, because they really change people's lives of all ages and give hope back to people and give opportunities back to people that didn't think that they would have them anymore.
I mean, many people in this world go through hardship, and Yvonne and Eric have gone through that, and you can handle that a couple of ways. You can just curl back in, or you can give back and teach and educate what you know and share that with other people. They've opened their doors to classes. They really don't say no to anyone. It's just a very special organization, and they can do so much. It's already growing like wildfire, but anything that anyone can do to donate to this organization, BoltzStrong, would just be of wonderful benefit to so many people. And I have firsthand knowledge of that. Maddie feels like her life has changed.